welcome to the December 10th, 2024 City Council meeting. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
The record will reflect that all members of council are present.
All right. The invocation tonight, we lost our invocator, so I'll get up and do it. And then Pledge of Allegiance, since it's both of our last terms, Mr. Avery. So please stand with us. Lord, thank you for this gathering. Thank you for the ability to live in a country that where we can have a free election. Thank you for the new ideas and vision that will come from the council members being sworn in tonight. Thank you for the past 8 years. Thank you for getting us through it. Thank you for the wisdom that you've granted to all of us. Thank you for the blessings and protections that you've blessed us in the past, and please continue to give them to us going forward. These things we ask in thy name. Amen.
Please join us with the Pledge of Allegiance to our great nation.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Tonight is largely ceremonial, but we do have a little bit of business we need to take care of first. So let us run through that real quickly, and then we'll get on to the reason most of you are here. All of you are here, to be fair. All right, Madam Clerk.
The City Council of Newport Beach welcomes and encourages community participation. Public comments are invited on agenda and non-agenda items generally considered to be within the subject matter jurisdiction of the City Council. Speakers must limit comments to 3 minutes. Before speaking, please state your name for the record. The City Council has a discretion to extend or shorten the time limit on agenda or non-agenda items.
All right, do we have any public comments at this time? Non-agenda items. They both work. Yep.
Hello, my name is Miles Patricola. During the election this year, my opponent Sarah Weber and I were always respectful to each other in public, in private, and in online spaces. We did not fill mailboxes with negative flyers about each other. We did not use social media outlets to spread rumors about each other. We both understood the value of toning down the political rhetoric. Our mayor, Will O'Neill, has 16,000 followers on his Instagram page, and most of the time, Will uses his social media account to provide updates to ongoing issues and future plans for our city. People rely on Will to share accurate, unbiased information with the public. Right before Election Day, on October 25th, Will decided to use this platform to post a few personal attacks against me. Will's original post was recently deleted, but I saved a few screenshots before the post was removed. After Mayor Will belittled me for being unemployed, for living with my parents, for being a first-time candidate, and for donating $100 to my own campaign. The rest of Will's comments were focused on misrepresenting my campaign platform. In the comments section, more than a few people said that I don't belong in Newport because I'm a Democrat. Others called me an agent of the deep state. They called me an evil demon sent to Newport by Satan. They were insulting my parents for the way they raised me. As elected leaders of our city in the age of Trumpism, please take some time to reflect on the value of toning down the political rhetoric. Please do not use your title as a weapon against your political enemies and the residents of our city whom you serve. Please do not encourage or enable the spread of hate and misinformation about other people. Be a role model of good behavior for our city instead of devolving into partisan bickering on Instagram. If you make a mistake, don't delete it. Take responsibility. Do not marginalize and target people because they are not Republicans. As my parents would say, do not let hate win.
Good to see you, Miles. All right. Next speaker, please.
Adam Leverance, and I just wanted to quickly touch on consent item 5.2, which is a very long-term, low-interest loan to convert a travel lodge into 78 units of housing and set aside 12 of those as affordable housing units for Newport Beach and 16 for Costa Mesa. Particularly item 5 in the materials, occupancy limits. It says, quote, to the greatest extent allowed by law, the maximum occupancy of the unit shall not exceed more than 2 persons. That creates difficulties, I think, for people that may live there. Childcare is incredibly expensive. So with that little thing, you're making it so 2 parents and a kid would have problems, or say a single parent with an adolescent kid who can watch a younger kid. And I don't know, the flexibility on this, but just putting that sort of a limitation on someone who's struggling to get into affordable housing, I think there needs to be some flexibility there to allow, they say childcare can cost like 30-40% of a person's income on the lower end of the tier. So I'm just asking that you think about that. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please. Nope. Okay. All right. We'll bring it back up. Now it's time for City Council announcements and oral reports from City Council on committee activities. Councilmember Kleiman.
I have none.
Councilmember Blom.
None.
Councilmember Avery.
I have none.
Councilmember Weigand.
None this evening.
Councilmember Grant.
Just 2 things. I wanted to recognize our police department for a very successful week in resolving a cold case from over 50 years ago, and also a very significant crime in our city from maybe 5 months ago. Wonderful, obviously, to have all of you here tonight and with us in the city all the time. And this is really a significant time in completing those 2 crimes. And then also, I just wanted to thank the community, the chambers, all of the different businesses and organizations that get together with so many wonderful events that we all share in, tree lightings and the boat parade and everything that's going to be happening in the next couple of weeks. It's absolutely a wonderful time in our community, and I'm very grateful to be involved in all of those activities. Thank you.
Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem.
Yeah, I just want to wish a happy birthday to our fire chief, Boyles. Happy birthday, Jeff. And I was able to attend, I think, with everyone here, the Restoration Hardware grand opening, the opening party, over 1,500 people. Hopefully you have an opportunity to get over there once it's open. I've been told the ribbon cutting might be this Friday, so hopefully they'll be open before the holidays. I was able to attend the CDM Christmas walk, so congratulations to the CDM Chamber of Commerce for all that they did to make that a successful event. And lastly, the biggest event of the year, next week, Wednesday, the Christmas boat parade. Hope to see you guys out there.
Awesome. All right. Madam Clerk.
This is the time in which council members may pull items from the consent calendar for discussion. Those are items 1 through 13. Public comments are also invited on consent calendar items. Speakers must limit comments to 3 minutes. Before speaking, please state your name for the record. If any item is removed from the consent calendar by a council member, members of the public are invited to speak on each item for up to 3 minutes per item. All matters listed under consent calendar are considered to be routine, will all be enacted by one motion in the form listed below. Council members have received detailed staff reports on each of the items recommending an action. There will be no separate discussion of these items prior to the time the City Council votes on the motion, unless members of the City Council request specific items to be discussed and are removed from the consent calendar for separate action.
All right. Any items to pull or conflicts to announce? Councilmember Kleiman.
Yeah, I need to recuse myself on items 7 and 8 due to the potential financial benefit given the location of my personal residence. And I would also like to pull number 10.
Okay. Councilmember Blom.
I have a recusal on number 3 due to real property at 501 and 417 30th.
Okay. Councilmember Avery.
I have none.
That was awesome. All right. Councilmember Weigand.
I have none.
Councilmember Grant.
None.
Mayor Pro Tem.
I have none.
I have none, and be quiet out there, Sean. All right. Mayor Pro Tem, do we have a motion?
Yeah, I'll move the consent calendar except for item number 10, which was pulled by Councilwoman Kleiman, and then with the amendments to the minutes, item 1, and then the recusal by Councilman Blom at item 3 and Councilman Kleiman at items 7 and 8.
All right. Do I have a second?
Oh, and then also ordinance 2024-30 has a new exhibit, making a minor modification to the ordinance.
Got it. All right. Do I have a second? Seconded by Councilmember Avery. Do we have any public comment on consent calendar?
Mayor O'Neill, members of the council, my name is Jim Mosher, and I wanted to call attention to 3 items on the consent calendar that I think may not have been thought through quite carefully enough, and all of which I think should be voted on by the new council rather than the old one. The first item is item number 5, which is a change in the rules for membership on the Finance Committee. As you all know, the Finance Committee consists of 3 council members and 4 citizen members who are the citizen members are appointed in June by the 4 council members who are not on the Finance Committee, and they commit or volunteer to serve on the committee for the coming fiscal year, which runs from July until the following July. That is a system that has worked pretty well so far. The proposal before you would cause the citizen member to lose their seat on the Finance Committee if the council member who nominated them leaves the council. I think that's disruptive because the citizen members are expecting to work for an entire fiscal year. And it's also inconsistent because the council composition on that can change during the year. In particular, it changes usually in January when the new mayor recommends new members for it. So my recommendation is to leave it as it is. It has been working. If you want to do that, though, in addition to vacating the position when the council member leaves the council, the citizen members also should vacate their position whenever the council composition changes, as it does in January. The other 2 that I wanted to comment on are closely related, number 7 and 8, which have to do with the city staff proposing, and number 7 doesn't say how much money is involved, but the 2 together involve about a $300,000 staff recommended expenditure to improve landscaping on private property fronting East Coast Highway in what is called the entrance to the city, although the real entrance is quite a bit further down the road. The problem with these, in return for paying for the private landscaping of property that the staff thinks has not been well maintained in the past, they're expecting or say that they will get a promise from the property owners to do that maintenance in the future, although the city may pay for the water. Problem is, there's nothing in the staff report indicating that they actually have such an agreement. And I think a prudent city council would not make the expenditure until they actually have a written commitment that the other parties are going to keep up their end of the bargain. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comment on consent calendar?
Good evening. I would like to speak on item 10. Good evening, Mayor O'Neill and Councilman.
I'm sorry. Item 10 has been pulled, so we're going to discuss that separately.
Oh, my bad. Misheard. Thank you.
No problem. Any other consent calendar items? All right, we'll bring it back up here. We have a motion and a second. Let's go ahead and vote.
Prior to reading the vote, I'll read the ordinance titles for items 3 and 4. Ordinance 2024-29, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Newport Beach adopting a local coastal program amendment to change the development limit specified for the Lido House Hotel located at 3300 Newport Boulevard and 475 32nd Street. Ordinance 2024-30, repealing and replacing Chapter 14.33, Water and Sewer Capital Improvement Fee to the Newport Beach Municipal Code, authorizing collection of development impact fees for water and sewer service facilities. Ordinance 2024-31, adding Chapter 15.43, Recreation Facilities Improvement Fee to the Newport Beach Municipal Code, authorizing collection of development impact fees for recreation facilities. And Ordinance 2024-32, adding Chapter 15.44, Public Safety Development Impact Fee to the Newport Beach Municipal Code, authorizing collection development impact fees for police and fire service facilities. The motion carries unanimously, 7-0.
Great. See what you get to look forward to, Sarah and Michelle. Very exciting. All right, so we're going to, item number 10 has been pulled. Item number 10 has been pulled. And so, Councilmember Kleiman, is there something you wanted to focus on?
Yeah, thanks. I definitely don't need a staff report. I'm generally supportive of the project moving forward, but particularly in light of lessons learned from our Costa Mesa Bridge Shelter Partnership. I have a lot of questions and concerns about the terms of this agreement, and in particular, the practical application of our local priority and how this will interplay with our comprehensive approach to homelessness and affordable housing. So, given the nature of this evening's program, I'm guessing we don't have the desire to hash this out from the dais, so I might suggest that we would move forward with a recommendation of approval, including an opportunity for Councilmember Grant and I to work with staff, particularly again on the tenant plan, and just kind of finalizing and ironing out the last details of the agreement.
Okay. Any concerns? All right. We'll go to public comment on this item now.
Let's try this again. Good evening, Mayor O'Neill and council members. My name is Noah Tuliao. I'm a policy fellow with the Office of Orange County Supervisor Katrina Foley, who represents Newport Beach on the Orange County Board of Supervisors. Supervisor Foley also serves on the Orange County Housing Finance Trust Chair, of which the City of Newport Beach is a member. When Supervisor Foley joined the Board of Supervisors in 2021, she brought together mayors, city managers, and county housing staff to create Home Key in a Box. The Travelodge development is a direct result of Home Key in a Box and the sixth product of the Supervisor's Home Key in a Box initiative. Now, instead of a dilapidated crime magnet hotel, we will have 78 homes for formerly homeless veterans and residents of Costa Mesa and Newport Beach. The county is providing $7 million for the project through vouchers, general funds, MHSA dollars, and through the OC Housing Finance Trust. So Supervisor Foley is committed to solving the homelessness crisis with you, and thanks to the City of Newport Beach for its partnership in this project and commitment of $3 million in funding. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public speakers? All right. Seeing none, we'll bring it back. Councilmember Kleiman, you want to make the motion?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and make a motion, to, just as I described earlier, for approval of the project and an allowance for Councilmember Grant and I to work with staff to finalize the last details of the agreement.
Okay. Second by Councilmember Grant. Let's go ahead and vote.
The motion carries unanimously, 7-0.
All right. Now we get to move into the fun part. All right. So we're going to start with we're going to start in on the city council reorganization. So this is the time for public comments regarding reorganization, which we don't normally receive, but I will throw it open anyway. Oh, Dennis.
Well, Dennis Bress, resident Newport Beach. Just here, made it in time, late, but just wanted to give you my heartfelt thank you, Will and Brad, in what you've done to continue to keep our city the best it can be. Council has been so great to work with. We were successful in getting our landmark trees on Balboa Island secure, and they're actually thriving. The drive over here was beautiful. Everybody's in the Christmas spirit, and the Christmas lights are up. Heck, they've been up since, I think, Halloween. Brad, it's been great to see you up there, and sent you both emails just saying thank you. I have a lot of pictures over the years of you guys being at our Balboa Island parade, which is the official start for summer for us. And it's just great to see the pictures of years back of you guys smiling with your families, and kids are younger at that point and shorter. But thank you for everything, and congrats to the new council for what they're going to do, and for the rest of you that are up here. We'll continue to work with the Aviation Commission Committee, Noah and Lauren, in the success of getting aircraft to continue from John Wayne Airport to fly higher and slower and quieter. So that's my 2 cents. Thank you for everything you've done, and good luck with what you guys decide to do in the future.
Thanks, Dennis. All right. Any others? Okay. Oh, you're back. Yes, I am. All right.
Well, Good evening again, Mayor and council members. Once again, my name is Noah Tuleau, Policy Fellow with Orange County Supervisor Katrina Foley, who represents the Fabulous Fit District, which includes the great city of Newport Beach. On behalf of the Supervisor's Office, we congratulate the newly elected and re-elected members of the Newport Beach City Council. To the outgoing members of the council, we express our sincerest gratitude for your service and partnership with our office to serve the residents of Newport Beach. Thank you, Mayor Will O'Neill, for your service to the city, and Councilmember Brad Avery for the leadership you provided to the city's 2nd District. Supervisor Foley looks forward to continuing to work with the council to find effective and efficient solutions to the issues and concerns our community faces. Please feel free to reach out if you have any questions or inquiries as you serve the people of Newport Beach. You can call our office at 714-834-3550. Again, congratulations, and let's continue to happily serve the needs of the beautiful city of Newport Beach. Now, the office has prepared certificates to extend our congratulations. Thank you for your time, and if I may, give it to the clerk.
Yeah,
potentially.
that works. Yep.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mayor, hang on. He'll call you forward, I promise. All right. Any other public comments? All right. So we're going to move into the time where I get to hand this off to the Mayor Pro Tem.
All right. Well, the reason we're all here to celebrate Will
no.
and Councilman Avery, I just feel really bad for the guy who has to follow you, Will. What an incredible job you've done as the mayor of Newport Beach. We look at 2020, everything that happened and all that Will did to protect our quality of life here in Newport Beach and all that you did in the last year. I've got some photos going to show you all that you accomplished in just the last 12 months with their fellow colleagues. I want to begin by thanking Jenny, Aubrey, and Sean. Thank you for allowing us to borrow your father to continue to serve this great city of Newport Beach. Will did a terrific job representing the helpers and spent the last 12 months celebrating all those who give back to this community. But I think I'd share the same feeling with all of you. I don't know if anyone embodies that more than Mayor O'Neill. And he truly is a public servant and leads with a heart of service. And Will, your fingerprints are all over the city when it comes to public safety, infrastructure, fiscal responsibility. He was the chairman of the Finance Committee for what seems like a decade. His policy work as a litigator, that will be missed greatly. He's the true architect of government efficiencies. And such a proud moment, that junior guard building and the opening. I think that was one of my highlights, watching you and all that you were able to do and accomplish with that. The future is very bright, and I can't wait for your next chapter. And I'm so happy to call you a colleague, but even more so a friend. Thank you for your service. That being said, we'll do some gifts. This one is the mayor's gavel. Shows your service for the last year. Congratulations. And then all of us up here on council figured, all of you that know Will, know that Will loves his challenge coins. Noah thinks those are ball markers when he's golfing, but I figured what better than a way for you to present those at home in your home office or wherever you want to present them. So all of us reached out to my brother-in-law, Paul Estrada, who's a master craftsman, and had him personally make you a custom coin holder for your challenge coins. I'd argue the box is equally beautiful, but yeah. So here is his coin holder. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you for your service. Okay, now would be the time. Mayor Stevens, would you like to come up and say a few words?
Well, I make it a policy not to come into anybody else's chambers, so this is a special occasion, the first time I've ever done it, and I really didn't know what to do. I was kind of disoriented and confused, but thank you again for guiding me, Will. So Mayor O'Neill, Will, my friend, we came into this together in 2016, and when we did this and we got elected at that time, I don't think we could have ever imagined that we would have had the challenges that we've had, whether it be COVID or tragedies in our community that we've responded to. It's been really amazing to work with you and watch you work. Our partnership on the bridge shelter, everything we've done together. But one thing I'll remember most, before I get there, your community should know what a leader among leaders, I'm going to get the funny part in a second.
Okay.
Leader among leaders Will is. We served together, and he was the chairman of the TCA, the Transportation Corridor or Agency, or the Toll Road Agency. And I can tell you that I know a lot of people, I know a lot of leaders, and there's just a few leaders that would be able to do what you did, not only in terms of your fiscal management, but guiding the agency through crisis situations. And the board put all its trust, rightfully, in you, and you didn't let the board down. You didn't let the community down. But we also had a little fun with it. Will and I were a comedy team on various forums. We had a lot of good times on Poor Man's Mayor's Minute, and even some times on the Happy Hour. And I'm not going to mention all your victories in the various events that we did, because I want to keep that. You had to be there, right? Yeah. But he did a great job. He was a credit to the community. And I have a commendation for you. And staff, by the way, it's beautiful work by your staff. It's a beautiful setting here, and you cannot deny that. So I have a commendation. It's a long, and I'm not going to read it. I'm just going to read you the section that I wrote from scratch. Whereas Mayor Will O'Neill has collaborated many times with the city of Costa Mesa, including on issues such as the Fairview Developmental Center lawsuit to enjoin the unsafe placement of infected COVID patients, Newport Beach and Costa Mesa's partnership in our bridge shelter, police and fire mutual aid, and, as we saw just earlier, the development of permanent supportive housing in our communities. So, from the bottom of my heart and on behalf of the city of Costa Mesa, I commend you and I thank you for all your great service.
Sounds like a merger, Newport Mesa. I don't know. Is that why you're here? Yeah. All right. Senator Nguyen, I see you here as well. Would you like to join? Let's do both. Yeah, let's do both.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem, for allowing me to be here and presenting. I want to be here, although I'm not your current senator anymore, but I love Newport Beach when I was able to represent it, and I want to make sure that I get to represent the state to say my thank you and appreciation both to Will and also to Brad. Brad, your accomplishment, your dedication to Newport Beach is unbelievable. And, one thing for me personally is my boys went to OCC sailing school. They love it. And so you made a mark not just for past generation, but for future generation who will always love sailboat and boating in general. And so, my one son worked really hard, and the other one, since they get partners, and he told me, after when I picked him up, he goes, "Mom, ask Timothy what he did." And I said, "Timothy, how was sailing?" He goes, "It was good." He goes, "What'd you do?" "Oh, I just lay there because the other kid wanted to do all the work." So I told him, "Well, you might want to learn it just in case you need." He's like, "Oh, I know how to do it." As he wants to do the work, so I just lay around. Oh, okay. But point going back to is that we appreciate your dedication to our children and the future generation of just learning and appreciating the ocean. And knowing that it's a precious natural entity that we have in California, especially in Orange County. And again, want to thank your family, your wife, for giving us you, so that we can, have you've been able to dedicate your time and effort to Newport Beach. And so on behalf of the California State Senate, and one of my last resolutions that I was able to get before I left office is to thank you for all your time and dedication to the state of California, particularly in Newport Beach.
Do I do it together? We'll do it together.
Mayor O'Neill, thank you. We've worked a lot together. I've gotten to know you. You are someone to not be reckoned with. But you are also, you tower over me in terms of height. So although you tower over me, you, to me, though, is like a big brother and a big teddy bear. There is passion in you and compassion as well. But I appreciate you allowing me in the last 2 years just to come into Newport Beach and really helping me and guiding me and just allowing me to be part of everything in Newport Beach. And whenever there's a problem, you've called us. When there isn't a problem, a celebration, whatever it is, you're one of those on this council that have called me and made sure that I'm part of Newport Beach. And so I really appreciate it. All the years that you've dedicated to Newport Beach, whether that is putting together the Volunteer of the Year celebration, whether that's, the Flag Day celebrations we've had here, watching the children especially, looking at those 200 plus flags that is standing there on Flag Day, and remembering what the importance of America and the flag, and that freedom is not free. And allowing me to be on Pullman's show quite a bit. Whenever we need to get the message out there from Sacramento, whenever we ask, you're right there, and you've always been so helpful. And so I'm very grateful for your friendship, your partnership, and also your leadership for the city of Newport Beach. And I want to thank your wife and your children as well for allowing us to have you all these years. I know there's much, much more that we're going to squeeze out of you. We're not letting you go easily. And so, the cool thing, though, is I got to say, before you come up, is that this council is now going to be a majority woman. So Mayor Pro Tem, his shoes are not big enough for our two ladies coming in to feel it. But again, Mayor O'Neill, thank you for your dedication, contribution, and particularly love for the residents of Newport Beach.
Two, three, and one more.
Okay, is there anybody from, who do we got here? Assemblymember Diane Dixon, there we go. Yeah. Cooper Stroll.
Good evening, Council. Cooper Stroll here on behalf of Assemblymember Diane Dixon. Unfortunately, she couldn't be here with you tonight. She's recovering from a successful skin cancer surgery, so I appreciate your best wishes and your forgiveness for her. But as a former council member with many of you, she's very grateful for the many countless hours that you pour into serving the community. I'll start with Councilman Avery. Assemblymember Dixon has appreciated the ability to continue her strong working relationship with you as she's moved on to the Assembly. Your knowledge about how state laws are impacting our boating community and our coast have been invaluable. But thank you again for the many years. She's grateful to have worked with you and looking forward to continuing that relationship with you. And Mayor O'Neill, it's been a pleasure of hers to work with you over the last 2 years in state office and your perspective on public safety legislation and your priorities to continue making Newport Beach and also the state as a whole safer has been your wealth of knowledge in that has really advanced her understanding of public safety in Sacramento and helped her form her views on legislation. So she's looking forward to continuing to work with both of you and looking forward to seeing what's next. I have some certificates of recognition from the Assemblywoman. It seems the Senator's office slowed down the resolution printing process, so we have a placeholder for that tonight.
You want a photo? All right, let's do it.
Get a photo.
One, two, three. And one more. One, two, three.
Okay. Any other elected official offices? Seeing none? Oh, James, you want to come up as an... All right, Councilman Weigand, you've got something you want to present?
Yes. So these items here, you can actually wear these. You don't have to put them on your wall or anything. But as you saw, as the Mayor Pro Tem had some photos up there, most of the photos require a certain outfit for me, and I hope that you will wear them as I wear them, and they're Ren Spooner Christmas shirts. And I talked with Jenny for you, Will, so she authorized it and a color specifically, so you're good there. And Brad, I mean, he's a man of the water, so he's got to wear it and enjoy it. But I want to thank both of you for your service. I wasn't on the council for 6 of the years that you were here, but 2, and I've learned a lot from both of you. And Will, your service during COVID-19, I mean, there's a ton of people in this audience. You stood up for us as residents, as businesses, as Noah would contest to, as those that were locked down. We couldn't do a lot of stuff in this California we're in, but in Newport Beach you could, and because of you and the leadership of the council, it did really resonate with just residents, because that's all I was at the time, and I couldn't do much to change that. But having a strong leadership here really did make a difference. And Councilman Avery, when you were mayor, we had the Amplify oil spill. What a better guy to represent our city than a waterman like yourself, and you understand the water, our harbor, the ocean, and so having you be our mayor during that time, it was divine intervention, I guess. So thank you both for your service. They wrapped it. I don't know how to wrap, but somebody wrapped it, but you know what they are. So you get the green one, Jenny. Oh, I got the green
Okay. Well, I will do the presentation of the official city clock. So this is a big deal. So we have a clock here for Mayor O'Neill and Councilman Avery. So congratulations, guys.
Definitely give him this. We don't get a watch. Everybody gets a clock.
You could wear that like Flavor Flav.
There we go.
Yeah.
I know some council members who...
Okay. Now is the point in the evening where we'll have remarks by Councilman Avery and Mayor O'Neill.
Well, it's been quite a ride, and for me, the last 8 years on council, and it's been an honor to serve the citizens of the city where I grew up, and I thrived here. It was a great city back in 1960 and 70, and it's an even greater city now. For 8 years, I've mostly enjoyed spending every other Tuesday evening with my fellow council members who care deeply about our civic future. Together, we've worked to ensure that Newport continues to succeed and meet the challenges of growth while preserving the character, safety, and beauty that we all cherish. My gratitude goes out to our exceptional city manager, Grace Leung, and her team. Their patience and guidance has been invaluable to me throughout my time on council. I also want to acknowledge my gratitude to our city's resolute police and fire personnel, and also to the hundreds of dedicated city staff members who have been invaluable partners in listening and responding to the needs of our residents and businesses. In recent years, we've made significant strides in services, infrastructure, sustainability, and public safety. I look forward to civilian life and a great reduction in emails and phone calls. However, I will follow the City Council's work since my interest in our city's success is unwavering. Newport has given me so much: friendships, opportunity, and the honor of contributing to an amazing town that means a great deal to me. While I am exploring other opportunities to serve, none will be as compelling as helping guide Newport Beach forward. I am beyond grateful to my wife, Julie, who has provided me with much emotional support, which is needed when you're on council, and a shot of tequila upon my return home from every meeting. I'd like to make a final comment about the guy next to me here, Will O'Neill, who I have really enjoyed my time on council with, who is a real leader, and he's really going to be missed on this council, and I'm sure they'll pull it together because they've got a few attorneys and make it all work. And Mayor Joe will no doubt take over and get the thing just keep going on the track. So I want to make my congratulations to the new council, both of whom I met, and just I'm glad that the city is in capable hands. So thank you so much.
So the best part of this meeting is going to be 5 minutes from now. Those recognitions were awfully kind, and the words have been much appreciated. But pretty soon we're going to be swearing in 2 new council members, and this is a recognition of fresh perspective, new voices, new eyes, but the same institution, and an institution that I think we all have a lot of faith and trust in, and that matters in this day and age. So, like I said, 5 minutes from now, I think it's going to be the best time of this meeting. I want to start by saying thank you to Jenny. She is she's the best part of me, and it's been the 2 of us together. She was my first vote. If she had said no, I wouldn't be doing this right now. And she was there throughout all of the hard times, because I'll tell you, it's awfully easy to be with people when it's easy, but it's awfully difficult to be with folks when it's hard. But she was always there, and I will always appreciate that. To my kids, thank you. Not just the Balboa Island parades that we got to enjoy, but thank you for bearing with me when I was gone during the tough times that required me to be out quickly. But you've been able to see the insides of government, and the good and the bad. And unlike most of our residents, you can name all 7 council members. So good job for you. I'd like to say a heartfelt thank you to the voters for giving me this opportunity twice for the last 8 years. I'd like to say particularly thank you to my colleagues for letting me be mayor this year, especially to Brad for the last 8 years. This has become not just a colleague, but a friendship, and I really appreciate you. And I'd also like to say thank you to our city staff. It's been a ride. We've had a lot of the ups and downs, and one of the things that we learned pretty quickly is you got to have a really great team around you, especially during the most difficult moments of 20 and 21, even this year. So to our public safety personnel, especially those of you standing in the back, thank you for being here, and thank you for showing up every day for our city. let me finish up with one story that I think summarizes one of my favorite moments in the last 8 years, which was us sitting here and having a sixth grader named Alexis Portillo come up to the mic to speak during public comment. She has an older sister who has pretty severe mental and physical disabilities. And she came up and said, as part of her passion project for Newport Coast Elementary School, she wanted to make sure that we were aware that we didn't have any swings in the city of Newport Beach that would accommodate her sister. But, she said, there are these swings called ADA swings that essentially wrap around young people and allow them to swing. And she said there are these swings in Laguna Beach and Irvine, but there aren't any in Newport. She'd love to see one in Newport Beach. Thanks to working with our Rec and Senior Services Department, the first one was installed up in Newport Coast. And I remember that day because not only did it improve the life of someone who's frankly, the issue was it had escaped the attention of everyone on the dais, but it was someone who came forward with a problem, offered a solution, and made sure that the lives of people in our city were improved. And the really cool thing is, Alexis Portillo is actually in the audience tonight, and the reason is because she's now a senior at Corona Del Mar High School. And Alexis, I'm actually her advisor on her senior paper. Alexis, could you stand up? So, Alexis, thank you for being an example to all of us on the way to be a citizen. In sixth grade, you showed us, and so now that you're a senior in high school, I know the world's in front of you, and you're going to do some amazing things. Look, folks, we're better off as a community when we have the Alexis Portillos of the world coming up and solving problems and helping us with them. And so, it's been a real honor and a privilege to recognize the helpers in our community. And so, one last gift as a shop local approach to life. Wanted to make sure that all of our council members received, so you can go grab them now, received custom artwork from Shannon Wadsworth from M Street Artwork. And so what it says is, grab it. So you've got one too, Robin. It has their name, has the year, and then also, because this year we called it Look for the Helpers, has a reference to that as well. So Newport Beach, we are a shining city upon a hill. It has been the honor of a lifetime, and I just want to say to our new council members, God bless you, and God bless the city of Newport Beach. This has been great. Thank you. With the artwork? Okay. All right. Close. Awesome. All right. You're very welcome. Just so you know, I had one made for me too. I thought they were cool. All right. Last item is item number 14, Resolution 2024-92, certification of the general municipal election results. Madam Clerk.
The resolution confirms the results of the 2024 general municipal election as certified by the Orange County Registrar of Voters. I'm proud to say that Newport Beach voter turnout was over 82%. Following the announcement of the vote, Mayor O'Neill and Councilmember Avery are invited to join their families in the audience.
All right. Do we have any council members have questions or comments? All right. We have a motion.
I'll make it.
Moved by Councilmember Weigand, seconded by Councilmember Grant. Let's go ahead and vote.
The motion carried unanimously, 7-0.
All right, let's give a warm round of applause for Mayor O'Neill and Councilman Avery as they meet their families. All right, at this point, the city clerk will do administration of the oath of office.
This is the time for the administration of the oath of office to the newly elected council members. I will be calling each council member individually, along with their person who will be administering the oath. First, can I have re-elected council member Noah Blom and his family come forward? His wife, Marin, will administer the oath to council member Blom.
All right. I. Oh, are you ready? Okay. Are you ready? I'm like. All right. So, right hand on the book, left hand on the book. Raise your right hand. All right. So, I, Noah Blom.
I, Noah Blom.
Do solemnly affirm.
Do solemnly affirm.
That I will support and defend the Constitution. Oh, sorry.
That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
And the Constitution of the State of California.
The Constitution of the State of California.
Against all enemies.
Against all enemies.
Foreign and domestic.
Foreign and domestic.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance.
To the Constitution of the State. Of the United States.
To the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California.
That I take this obligation freely.
That I take this obligation freely.
Without any mental reservation.
Without any mental reservation.
Or purpose of evasion.
Or purpose of evasion.
And that I will well and faithfully.
And that I will well and faithfully.
Discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter.
Discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter. Whew. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, next, can I have Councilmember Michelle Bardo and her family come forward, along with former Mayor Will O'Neill, who will administer the oath of office to Councilmember Bardo.
All right, raise your right hand. I, Michelle Bartow,
I, Michelle Bartow,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will
and that I will
well and faithfully
well and faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
upon which I am about to enter.
upon which I'm about to enter.
Congratulations. All right, make it official.
Last but not least, can I have Councilmember Sarah Weber and her family come forward, along with former Mayor again, Will O'Neill, who will administer the oath to Councilmember Weber.
Okay. I, Sarah Weber, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California, that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I'm about to enter. Congratulations. So move over, yeah. And that, make it official.
Ready? Okay. At this time, the City Council will now consider the annual mayor appointment, so I will turn the floor over to the City Clerk to conduct the mayor election.
This is the time for the election of mayor. All members of the City Council are on equal basis to nominate and elect. Note that 7 mayor and 7 mayor pro tem nameplates have been created for the reorganization process. The same procedure will also be followed for the selection of the mayor pro tem. Nominations do not require a second. They are not debatable, cannot be amended or reconsidered, and a majority vote is required to elect. The motion to close nominations does require a second. It is not debatable, cannot be amended or reconsidered, and requires a 2/3 vote. If there is more than one nomination, the voting will be done by paper ballot, and the results will be read at the conclusion of the balloting. If there is only one nomination, the voting will be done verbally. Nominations are now open. Do I hear any nominations?
I'd like to nominate Mayor Pro Tem Joe Stapleton.
I'll second.
If there's any other nominations, can I have a motion to close?
I'll move to close.
And I need a second. Thank you. By a show of hands, all in favor of closing nominations, please raise your hand. That's 7-0. Do any council members wish to have discussion on the nomination? By a show of hands, all in favor of selecting Councilmember Stapleton as the mayor, please raise your hand. And that is unanimous. Congratulations.
Okay. Let me take this in for one moment. All right, we're good. All right, so this is the time for City Council to conduct the election of the Mayor Pro Tem. Nominations are now open. Do I hear any nominations?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I would like to nominate Councilmember Kleiman for Mayor Pro Tem.
Okay. Are there any other nominations? I'll do the second on Councilman Kleiman for Mayor Pro Tem. Any other nominations? Okay, seeing none. Is there a motion to, and a second to close nominations?
The motion.
Okay, first, and then I'll second that as well. All right, by a show of hands, all in favor of closing nominations? All right, any opposed? Seeing none. Do any council members wish to have any discussion on nominations? Okay, Madam Clerk, let's vote.
All in favor of selecting Councilmember Kleiman as the new Mayor Pro Tem, please raise your hand. That is 7-0. Congratulations, Mayor Pro Tem Kleiman.
Is this yours? Okay, the annual seating assignments, musical chairs. The remainder of the City Council will seat themselves pursuant to the seniority, then the highest margin of victory percentage. So with seniority order, we'll start with Councilman Blom.
Right, I'm going back to whence I came. So Eric, you and I are going to switch.
Wow.
The ends are
It was so
pretty.
warm.
You get to spread out there, really get a lot of room.
It is a nice thing.
It is. It's
All right, Councilwoman Grant. Take the seat next to me. There we go. Councilman Wigan.
I'll take the very end.
You want the other end? Michelle's just dancing around.
I've tried out all the seats.
I'm fine where I'm at, and assuming Councilwoman Kleiman's good where she's at, so we'll go to Councilwoman Weber. You're good there. All right. I guess Councilman Bartow, you're good there.
Just right.
There you go.
Better spot.
All right, terrific. So now that we're all seated, we'll stand and we'll take our official first group photo.
One, two, three. And one more. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, so now we will hear from the newly elected council members. Councilmember Blom, you want to kick it off?
Do I?
Yes.
Yes, I do. Well, I want to start by saying thank you to my lovely wife, Marin, who is so excited for another 4 years. She goes, if I could only keep listening to more city council meetings every Tuesday. It's riveting. And I'm going to tell a brief story about how I even got involved in this and why I'm continuing doing it. I got involved from a very specific reason. I saw how one city was operating in a much better way than another city. And I'm glad John Stevens left before my comments right now, because Newport was operating in such a way where freedom became the number one reason the number one thing we were looking at. We believed in the people of this city. We believed in the choices that they had the ability to make, and we stood behind them. And it made a huge difference in one of the hardest years when I first came on council. The reason I stayed is entirely different. I really fell in love with the idea of what good governance is. I think that very often it's the people that don't want to do it that make some of the best leaders in this world. And not saying I don't want to do it, but sometimes looking at it from the perspective of less certainly creates more for the people in the city. And that's the stance I've taken on so many things. And I am so grateful. I'm so thankful for all the colleagues I've both served with up here and get to continue to serve with, as well as our new additions, who are all amazing people. I think we truly embody one of the greatest councils. Sorry, Tony, I see you in the audience too out there. Anywhere in the world. We have pragmatic, intelligent people that care so much about the city, about the people in it, and about all the people that show up every day to work for us. A huge part of why I also stayed was because I think one of the most important things we're going to do looking forward is taking care of our city staff as a whole, but especially our firefighters and police officers, and our lifeguards as well. You're all in the same boat. But it's something we have to focus on because it is one of the most important things we have the ability to do. We are a very, very blessed place. We wouldn't raise our family or have our businesses here if that wasn't the case. So I feel so very lucky for the opportunity again. And thank you.
Councilmember Bartow.
Well, I'm just very thankful to be part of this wonderful city. I'm very honored by all the support that I had and by all of the hardworking people in this city. Thank you. I'm very thankful for my family, particularly my husband and children. I'm thankful that they went home to do their homework, I hope. But it's an honor, and I look forward to serving, and thank you very much.
Councilmember Weber.
Okay, I just want to say thank you to Will and Brad for the last 8 years and keeping Newport the best city in the entire world. To all my friends, every voter that anyone I've met in the community the past year, thank you. The support has been the most humbling experience of my entire life, and quite frankly, it's still a little surreal. I've been told by more than one person to make sure to not forget to thank the man, the myth, the legend, Matthias. Thank you for standing by my side and being there every day the last year. I couldn't ask for a better partner in crime. Obviously to my parents, because I literally would not be here without them. So I love you. Thank you. And to my girls, I love you so very much. You're my everything. And thank you for always reminding me when I look nice and when I don't. So I love you, and I couldn't be more excited to be sitting up here with all of you guys. And congratulations to Mayor Stapleton and Mayor Pro Tem Kleiman.
Awesome. Thank you. I just want to take a few moments and talk about what to expect over the next 12 months and spend a moment to thank former Mayor Will O'Neill and former Mayor Brad Avery for your service to the community. You know, for a kid that was born here, not raised here, but moved back here 20 years ago, I couldn't be more proud. This is an incredible moment for me. I realized almost immediately when I was driving down MacArthur 20 years ago when I moved here, this was an incredibly special place. And it's not only because of the natural beauty, the unique villages, but it's because of all of you. I look around this room and I see all the people that have contributed to the success of the city of Newport Beach. I witnessed firsthand what it meant to be a community servant. I was somewhat mentored by the Denny O'Neills, the Marion Bergesons, and so many former mayors. I see former Mayor Keith Curry and Rush Hill here in the audience as well. And tonight I'm full of gratitude, and this is quite a surreal moment for me to be sitting up here as your mayor. I want to thank the voters for trusting me in this process. I want to thank my fellow council members for the confidence. Councilmember Avery. Sorry, Councilman Wigan. You guys moved on me. I'm like, what's going on here? Councilman Wigan, Bartow, Grant, Blom, Weber, and Kleiman. I can't wait to see what we can accomplish together. This is not something I take lightly, and I'm so blessed to have a dedicated group of leaders working towards the same goal. And how about the first female majority city council in the history of Newport Beach? I've always surrounded myself with strong, beautiful women, but this might be the peak for me, so very excited. And we're bookending too. This is great. We're committed to making Newport even better for everyone. I want to thank my friends, my family, my friends that are here tonight, my mom and sister, and my in-laws who are watching from home outside of Newport, and to my Spinnaker family for allowing me to continue my service to this wonderful community that I love. And of course, to my beautiful recent bride, Julie, my number one biggest cheerleader. She's my best friend, my forever travel partner. I couldn't imagine doing this without you. And I think about when you moved here and you started knocking on doors during the campaign, and it was at that moment I knew you were going to be there for the rest of my life. And I appreciate all that you've done to help get where we are today. For 2025, my simple but profound theme as your mayor is Celebrate Newport. We will take the time to recognize the contributions of the people and projects who have played a role in making Newport a dynamic, welcoming place we all love. We're going to take this in time frames, so the past, the present, and the future. For the past, we're going to cement the legacy of those who came before us. We're going to celebrate those who made Newport, Newport. Each council meeting will do a mini dive into the history of our great city. We're going to begin in January with the landing at Lower Castaways in 1870, hopefully the future home of a great aquatic center. The development of Corona del Mar in 1903, the development of Balboa Island, the peninsula with the red car trolley line, the Balboa Pavilion in 1906. How about the Beak family and the Balboa Island Ferry in 1919? The completion of the Newport Harbor in 1936. The surf culture of the 1960s with the wedge. And how about Echo Beach with Danny Kwok and all the guys in the 1980s with the colorful wetsuits and boards. The defeat of the Coastal Freeway Plan in the 1970s. Maybe it's not always about what we've done, but what we've been able to accomplish and prevent. Look at the development of Fashion Island, the Irvine Company, tourism, the emergence of Spawn, the John Wayne Airport, the annexation of Newport Coast. Could you imagine if that was called Irvine by the Sea and there were 50,000 homes up there? That was talked about. Crystal Cove. Then we'll go into the present. We're going to focus on those who are protecting our quality of life and helping to keep Newport, Newport. The volunteers, the community leaders, the first responders, the city leadership and staff, business owners, and of course, our everyday residents. This will remain a safe place to live, work, and play. Talk about the technology that we're going to do with the flock cameras. We've installed almost 70 cameras around the city, license plate readers. We've got a new drone program that we're working on implementing in 2025. I know our police department is hard at work with our crime information center. We're going to continue to improve community infrastructure. Our fire station and library, Fire Station 1, the oldest fire station down on the peninsula by the village. We're going to be breaking ground on that next year. The transportation with the trolley and trying to get people around the city. Our trash wheel, the trash interceptor that we're hopefully going to be breaking ground next month, that's going to collect hundreds of tons of trash before it ever enters the Back Bay. Cutting the ribbon. We've already broke ground, yeah, okay, fair enough. We're going to cut the ribbon and start collecting trash. These are all examples of what we can do as a community when we all work together. And then we're going to look into the future, because I believe by understanding our past, we can look into our future and inspire the next generation. The Newport Beach Foundation that I've been proud to serve with, our Distinguished Citizen Program, we've graduated over 350 people through that program. Over 50 of those people are now serving on a board, commission, or committee in some capacity in the city of Newport Beach. We're going to look at local schools, HOAs, and other community organizations. The goal is to ensure that our future leaders of Newport Beach are as passionate about the city as those that came before them. Newport Beach is unlike any other city we are family here. Together, we will continue to make this place the best place in the country. We are proud to lead this wonderful city, and I can't wait to see what we can accomplish together in the years to come. Here's to a year of celebration, growth, and community. Let's celebrate Newport. Thank you. All right, the meeting's not over. Almost there. A little bit more city business to do, but take care of prior to adjourning tonight. So now is the time for public comments, including items on the consent calendar. Do we have any public comments? Mr. Mosier.
Mayor Stapleton and members of the council, my name is Jim Mosier. And as the mayor just indicated, although this is primarily a ceremonial meeting, you do have city business to do. Some was done earlier. And you have one remaining item, which is the consent calendar consisting of item number 20, which is setting the regular meeting dates for the coming year. That item is there to fulfill the core Brown Act promise that the public in general will know where to find you. So there is a formal declaration of when and where you will be holding your regular meetings. For the new members of the council, I would suggest that although the items are supposedly well prepared and non-controversial, that you actually do look at the consent calendar. The Brown Act requirement is to set the time and place. You will find, if you look at the title of the resolution, it's setting the time and date. No one reading this will actually know where the meetings are going to happen. I don't think that was intentionally meant to be secretive of where you're going to meet on these dates, but you might suggest that the location be added somewhere in the resolution. And I would point out to you, perhaps the reason it's not there is because you actually have no flexibility in that, because we have a very important document called our city charter. I implore all of you to read that, and you'll find in section 409 that you're actually required to hold all of the regular meetings. That's what you're setting with this regulation in the city council chamber. But it might be helpful to actually indicate the location so people will know the date, time, and location when they read the resolution. And then the final point I would like to make is, although you will find section 2 on the second page of the resolution says that the regular meetings begin at 4 p.m., but I noticed that the meeting tonight started at 5:30, and I suspect the reason for that is because more people can come, and it's more convenient for the public to come at 5:30. So the new council might reconsider why our meetings start at 4 o'clock and not at a more convenient hour. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mosier. Any other public comments?
Craig Sheets from Brea. I think we got some photographs. Perfect. Offshore oil wells probably shouldn't be there in the first place in case they leak. Also weapon storage. Got this with the FBI, 3 agencies, and a few of them agree with me. And they're inland FBI, so gets a little political. You guys know how it works. Go ahead and go to the next if you would. Thank you. And this is the way the weapons will get on shore. Inflatable rafts, and these subjects will not care about human beings. They kind of got the eyes like, sort of like a camera. You know, they can seek out a human pretty easily. Next, please, if you would. Thank you. As well, Hills. Dennis Brass, you remember Brea Hills, don't you? Brea Hills, the Nike site, was a meth lab. This is not Brea, but represents the same thing. And as if you would switch to the next. Mobile weapons, that would be a diversion. They don't sit still. They go round and around. You can go to the next. Thank you train does the same thing. Where it stops, nobody knows. But these weapons don't belong in the freight system. None. and that's where they're hiding them. And it's a sad state of affairs. And if you would, go to the next. Stacks. I don't know if you guys know and have been doing any research, but customs checks 3% of the containers of 30 million coming into our country. U.S. alone, 30 million incoming. They're not checked. So this is why I'm suggesting a Geiger counter, scintillation counter to all the port members as well, terminals, trucks, inland, truck scales, all of it. If you'd go to the next, please. As well, laminated radiation on oil. That would not be good. Anything coastal, radiation, you got onshore winds coming from Newport Beach, every coastal going in, so it would destroy ocean life. Any rain cycles as well, we'd be breathing radiation. Excuse my stutter. If you'd go to the next, please. And then as well, oil tankers, that would be a threat as well. They know the currents. Go to the next, please. So we've already been there. Go to the next. Go to the next. And there it is. Every country's training their kids to shoot weapons. Every one of them. China, Japan. Go to the next. And there's the problem. The sun. There's your dispatch. Have a good night.
Any other speakers? Supervisor Don Wagner. You're going to follow that?
I'm going to follow that. I didn't bring any slides, so we can show those again. Real brief, I have the pleasure of knowing everyone on this council dais. It is an honor and a pleasure to be here to celebrate a wonderful evening for you, a wonderful evening for the city of Newport Beach. I did have the pleasure in the state legislature several years ago of representing this wonderful town. It remains near and dear to my heart. And although I do not represent you on the Board of Supervisors, I do want to make sure every single one of you knows that my office is open to you. If there's anything ever that we can do for the shared constituents of ours in Orange County, here in the great city of Newport, I stand ready to help. I want to congratulate you. You had a wonderful election cycle with absolutely spectacular candidates who now, Mr. Mayor, have become your colleagues. And you are in for a wonderful ride because you've got a wonderful city to guide. So thank you for the opportunity to be here. Good luck to all of you, and I look forward to working with each and every one of you in the coming couple of years. Thank you.
Oh, man, we had Costa Mesa, now we have Huntington Beach.
Yeah. Surf City, USA.
There you go.
So I want to just come up. All of you are very close friends. I want to say congratulations, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem. Really, I appreciate it. I'm looking forward to working with you and the city next door. You know, Sarah and Michelle, congratulations. I also would be remiss if I didn't say congratulations to Mayor Will O'Neill. He's been a colleague and friend and someone I can look eye to eye to. So that's a good thing. But as someone from Huntington Beach, there was a lot of collaboration we could do together and work together. And I just wish all of you the best in the upcoming year and working with you from Surf City, USA. Thank you.
Terrific. Thank you, Tony. Any other comments? Okay, seeing none. Now is the time for matters which council members have asked to be placed on a future agenda. These are non-discussion items. The first item comes from Mayor Pro Tem Kleiman to consider directing city staff to make a recommendation to the city council regarding a new ordinance designating portions of Corona del Mar, including but not limited to Pirates Cove, Corona del Mar State Beach, Little Corona del Mar Beach, Ocean Boulevard, and the surrounding neighborhoods as a safety enforcement zone for the 4th of July holiday weekend and at other times deemed appropriate. We'll do a straw vote.
Unanimous, 7-0.
Okay. The second item also comes from Mayor Pro Tem Kleiman to consider creating an ad hoc committee to review and make recommendations for revisions to the City Council Policy Manual. Straw vote.
That's 6-0.
Okay. All right, now we'll move to the consent calendar. Item 20 is a resolution number 2024-93, setting city council regular meeting dates for calendar year 2025. Do any council members want to report on this or discussion?
Yeah, I'll pull it.
You pull it? Okay, terrific. You want to have that discussion now? Do you need a report or you just want to discuss it?
Do you need to open it to public, or? I'm happy to talk about it now. But April 8th and 22nd, there are 5 Tuesdays. Newport Mesa Unified School District has April 7th through that Friday as a holiday. I personally am going to be out of town, so I guess it's a selfish reason for pulling it, but maybe there are some other members of the council who may be in the same conflict. So since there are 5 Tuesdays, I was looking to see if we could move the meetings to April 15th and April 29th instead of April 8th and 22nd. So it just essentially extends it. It would allow then in May, there would be a gap of the next week, and then the following Tuesday, the second Tuesday of the month as per usual. So it really wouldn't mess up the schedule too bad. So that would be my recommendation for a modification of that item.
Okay, any other discussion up here before I go to public comments? Being none? Oh.
Mayor, we had
Yeah.
public comment at the beginning on agenda and non-agenda items.
Okay,
so
so
don't
we're
need
good?
to go
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
further.
All right, so you want to move it from the 8th to the 15th and the 22nd to the 29th?
Correct, yes.
April.
And I'll
the
make
rest
that
of the
motion.
dates. Okay. Is everyone good with that? Yeah, I think is that a motion? Okay. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Any additional council comments? All right, let's vote.
By a show of hands, all in favor? Unanimous, 7-0.
Okay, terrific. Madam Clerk, motion for reconsideration.
A motion to reconsider the vote on any action taken by the City Council at either this meeting or the previous meeting may be made only by one of the council members who voted with the prevailing side.
Are there any motions for reconsideration? No. Seeing none, we stand adjourned. Congratulations.